What's up, guys? Welcome to the GSL Code S. We are K-Stosis, and this is the semifinals. And I gotta say, actually, this match specifically, I am super excited about. These two players play. I think it should make for a very interesting series.
Oh, interesting is not even encompassing how amazingly interesting it will be, because these are the two trickiest Protosses in the world.
And they do have different play styles from each other.
Yes, they're not the same.
SOS is kind of that Protoss that just knows what to do in any given situation. He's always great. Any new map we have, I'm always excited to see what strategies he's going to use. And his opponent, I mean, this guy is a down and dirty, sneaky Protoss. He's doing all-ins, proxies, anything. So I have no idea who's going to win.
Well, obviously neither of these guys are in BlizzCon as of yet. They both kind of just need to win. So they're going to bring out absolutely everything, like balls to the wall, crazy strats, crazy plays here tonight in PvP. Most people are thinking SOS will win. I'm thinking SOS will win.
I think if I had to predict one, I would say SOS, but an upset could occur.
Yeah.
I mean, SOS is basically always a safe bet for any match you'll ever cast or spectate ever. Because he's always managed to win, and overcome all odds. But real quick here, our finals are going to be at Children's Grand Park. It'll be the same day as the ASL finals. So it's going to start out at 2:30 ASL. That's our Brood War finals that we're having.
And we have a sick TVP in that finals. You're definitely going to want to check that out.
And check out those VODs if you haven't already of the ASL matches that we've had.
The round of 4 was amazing.
Yeah, the round of 4 was insane. And then at 5:30, we're going to have the GSL Code S finals. So if you're somebody who's watching this and wants to come down, listen carefully. You need to get there early. Even if you only wanted to watch StarCraft 2, I would recommend getting there during the StarCraft 1
match. You might have to sit through StarCraft 1 whether you want to or not.
Well,
and if you don't show up.
Yeah, that's a little bit weird if you just like StarCraft 2 and don't like StarCraft 1. But definitely show up early. Last finals, I was saying just show up and it'll be fine. And there were so many people that came that people had visited and could not get into the venue, could not get a seat.
There was some false advertising lawsuits against Tasteless after that.
That's right. So I don't want that to happen to you guys if you are going to come down. So the sooner you get there, the better it is for you. Because we had people tweeting at us, like, while we're casting the finals, in these breaks, we'll check our Twitters. And we see people being like, I flew in here from, insert country here, and I can't get in. Is there anything you can do? And I would ask the people at Africa, and they're like, no, because this is going to be a fire hazard. We legally can't bring more people in. Oh, I felt bad. So get down there early, please.
Yeah, the next finals is outside, as Tasteless was saying, Children's Grand Park. Make sure you come down if you're inside Korea. If you're not, that's fine. You can have a viewing party at home.
That's right.
Get your friends there. Maybe you want to do a barcraft, whatever, because it is going to be absolutely sick. Like, the fact that we have SOS on this dream run, guys, he's a 2-time world champion and the defending world champion of BlizzCon, and he has, no WCS points. So he needs to win the seed by winning the tournament.
There's so much on the line right now for him. So, I guess we'll have to see, how he does here tonight. And, of course, after we're done tonight with SOS versus Myunchik, we're going to have one of these two players in the finals. So we'll at least have half of what the finals is going to be ready to go.
Yeah, and of course on Friday we're going to have Byun against Deer, which is going to be insanity as well. Deer playing out of his mind to eliminate TY, who many people thought he was just going to win this season.
I know.
Like, he was so good last season, he was playing so well this season, but Deer truly stepped it up, and that's going to be a force for Byun to deal with.
And Byun, this is a guy, I don't know anybody who doesn't love Byun.
Yeah.
He's been around since the beginning. He's very old school. And to see him in the Final Four now, that's an incredible story.
He's got no team. He's got no sponsors. This guy is a one-man army marching towards destiny.
Or death. We'll see how he does against Deer.
Well, either way, it's destiny, right?
That's right. Maybe your destiny is death. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's kind of sad and dark, but what are you going to do?
We took a dark turn here.
At the end of the day, we all die tasteless.
That's right. Everybody dies. Sorry, kids. So we are going to have SOS versus Myunchik coming up here in just a little bit. Now, most people are probably saying SOS is the favorite here, but you really can't count Myunchik out. Myunchik's got here with some very sneaky strats, some very cool plays. It's definitely going to be a really exciting night tonight.
습격이고 있어요. 뭘 모르겠죠. 다전제에서 안 된다는 거 김현희 선수의 보여주고 있어요. 가전제 큰 상금 매치에서 내가 할 수 있다는 걸 김현준 선수의 이번 경기에서 유감없이 보여주고 있는 시대. 가전제에서는 김준호는 김현준을 넘어설 수가 없어.
공허의 유산이라서 그냥 게임이 잘 안 맞나? 그 생각도 했었는데 그냥 열심히 하니까 실력이 올라오는 것 같아서 다행인 것 같아요.
기다리면 되는 겁니다. 얼마나 잘했어, 얼마나 잘했습니다. 사두와 고학 공격계. 그렇죠. 역시 타이트하네요. 제제. 제갈 명시 완벽한 발작이 마지막까지 올인으로 상대를 끌어내는 이런 날카로운.
결승에 가까우니까 이제 2명 남았다 이런 마음이 들어요. 8강에서 토크전 했는데 또 해야 된다고요? 그냥 서로 이상한 게임 하다가 아무나 이길 것 같아요. 그냥 별로 신경 쓰지 않아요. 결국에 그냥 한 명의 프로게이머랑 하는 거기 때문에 준비 잘해오는 사람이 이길 것 같아요. 군심에서는 토크전을 좀 했거든요. 지금은 똑같은 5대5기 때문에 그래도 가전제니까 자신은 있어요. 그때는 1년 전에 김명식이니까 별로 신경 쓰지 않아요. 그런 걸 전부 다. 제가 잘하면은 제가 이길 거라 생각하기 때문에 김명식 선수 요즘 정석도 잘하고 그냥 좀 꼬우는 것도 잘하는데 김유진 선수야 뭐 제가 칭찬해 줄 게 없죠. 원래 잘하던 선수인데 좀 맞춤식으로 잘 당하는 것 같아요. 아니면 혼자 자멸하거나 이기는 방법을 계속 알아가고 있고 그 이기는 방법을 잘 적용시키고 있는 것 같아요. 지저분한 게 꼭 나쁜 건 아닌 것 같아요. 지저분해도 우승을 많이 해봤거든요. 과거에는 제가 못했던 게 사실이기 때문에 그런 거 다 인정하고 앞으로가 중요한 거니까 이제 제가 지저분하게 하면서 우승하면 되는 거잖아요. 우선 올해 마지막 게임이고 우리 팀의 체면치레 블리즈컨인 것 같아요. 아무래도 전 세계 모든 스타트 프로게이머들이 1년 내내 그거를 위해 농사를 짓기 때문에 김명식 선수 작년에 비해서 이제 플레이도 더 단단해지고 그렇다고 원래 고유의 스타일을 버리지도 않았고 좀 더 잘해진 선수라고 생각하는데 그래도 게임 여전히 지저분하게 하거든요. 근데 지저분한데 우승을 못했어요. 저는 지저분하게 해도 우승을 하거든요. 우승 좀 하고 오세요. 과거의 일은 생각하지 않아요. 그냥 이제는 저도 많이 달라졌고 뭐 게임 내적이나 외적이나 많은 게 달라졌고 이길 수 있는 실력까지 올라왔다고 생각하기 때문에 긴장 좀 하셔야 될 것 같아요. 앞에 4강에 올라가게 됐는데 이게 오랜만에 온 기회라고 생각하고 꼭 연습을 바탕으로 올라가서 우승할 수 있도록 하겠습니다. 이번 시즌 하는 거 보면 아시겠지만 올라갈 것 같아요. 그러니까 많이 응원해 주시면 결승까지 가서 우승하겠습니다.
All right, we are back. We are going to go to a quick interview here with the two coaches of the players to see what their thoughts are before they send their players in to battle it out.
결승에 오를 선수는 과연 누가 될까요? 자, 오늘 4강전, 오늘은 특별히 두 선수 대신에 두 선수의 코치님을 모시고 이야기 나눠보겠습니다. 기대어 그린링스 하태준 코치님,
On behalf of the two
SKT1
players, here are the coaches on stage.
안녕하세요.
We're going to have a short interview. Hello, hello, hello.
네, 와 이렇게 두 분과 이야기를 하게 됐습니다. 코치님께서는 유경험자시고 박대결 코치님은 이제 GSL에서 처음이신데 어떤지 긴장감이 느껴지거든요. 두 분의 소감 어떤지 들어볼게요.
So how do you guys feel to be on stage right now?
저는 항상 애들 게임 있으면 제가 더 긴장을 많이 하거든요.
네.
근데 요즘에
When my players play, I'm actually always a little bit nervous before the match, but SOS is doing really well. Really well recently.
알 수 없는 그런 게 유진이가 생겨서
And he always does better
되게 마음이
when the
편해요.
weather is kind of cool and breezy out.
저도
So I'm pretty confident he's going to
작년에
do
하는
well
거 보고
tonight.
네.
이게 우연인가 했는데 올해까지 이렇게 하는 거 보니까
네.
이게 확실히 뭐가 있는 것 같아요.
확실히 하반기 김유진 이 말이 괜히 나온 게 아닌 것 같은데
네.
자 박대경 코치님 오늘 이렇게 지원 사격에 나서 주셨습니다. 어떻게 긴장감이 함께 느껴지나요?
결승 준비를 좀 많이 해봤기 때문에
네.
그 준비하는
So our team is very good at preparing
오히려 지금
for the
제가
finals.
긴장되는.
Our whole team worked together to help Myunchik get the best strats and builds.
하셔가지고 근데 지금까지는 아주
And he said, I think he thinks I'm the one who's
자,
nervous.
오늘
Myunchik's probably quite comfortable.
물어보고 싶었던 게 많았기 때문에 하나씩 물어보겠습니다. 자, 오늘 4파 간의 대결이라고 해서 아주 관심이 많았거든요. 두 분이 느끼는 이 두 선수의 전략성, 이 빌드에 대해서 어떻게 생각하는지 평가를 들어볼게요.
And what do you think about the strategies of the players?
일단 김명식 선수 같은 경우는
네.
실력에 비해서 굉장히 과소평가되어 있는
네.
그런 이미지가 있어서
네.
So Myunchik's kind of underrated right now.
아직 좀
He's actually a lot
다듬어지지
better than
않은
everybody thinks.
그런 원석 같은 그런 사파 느낌이고
네.
유진이는 뭔가 이제 정교한 사파.
사파.
He's like an unpolished rock or stone.
네,
그럼 하수 일이라는 얘기 아닌가요?
네 그렇죠.
아, 그렇군요. 자, 박대현 코치님 어떠세요? 제갈명식 이런 이야기 있는데.
네, 명식이 같은 경우에는 좀 평소에 준비를 많이 해서
네.
Myunchik always prepares hard in the practice house.
좀
네.
절제된.
And he engineers these really unique builds.
김준 선수는 좀 많이 지저분하게
아,
하는 면이
그렇군요.
없지 않아 있더라고요.
네. 이전에
I think
프로토스
SOS
활동하신
plays
코치님이기
actually messier
때문에
games
굉장히 이
and dirtier
평가가
games than Myunchik does, to be
객관적으로
honest.
느껴지네요.
네, 그렇게.
맞나요?
네.
그렇군요. 자, 그리고 오늘 가장 또 궁금했던 질문 중에 하나인데요. 이 측근에 있는 분들이기 때문에 누구보다 이 두 선수를 잘 알고 계시리라 생각이 됩니다. 이 두 코치님께 두
Well, you
선수는
two coaches should know the
어떤지
players better than anyone.
들어보고 싶거든요. 김유진 선수는
What does each of the respective players mean to you?
유진이 같은 경우는
네.
아무래도 조금 자기 할 일 알아서 하고
네.
크게 터치할 게 없는 선수예요.
오.
네, 그냥 냅둬도 너무 알아서 자기 관리도 잘 하고 해서
네.
제가
Honestly, I
신경을
don't
안
even be
쓰는
very
척하면서
hands-on with
유진이 항상
SOS. He pretty much does
스코어만
everything
보고
right and has a deep understanding of the
그렇게
game.
관리를 하고 있는 선수예요.
혹시 대본 아니죠?
네, 그건 아니에요.
네, 김유진 선수가
He says he just knows what to do by himself.
듣고 있진 않네요. 근데 들었으면
And just
무척
executes
기분이
everything
좋았을 것
perfectly.
같아요.
웃는 거 보니까
He's a
네.
듣고
flying
있는 것
man.
같아요.
That's right.
그런가요? 자, 김명식 선수는 박대경 코치님에게 어떤 선수이세요?
명식이
And what does your player mean to you, Myunchik?
저한테 동기부여를 좀 많이 해줘요.
네.
왜냐면 경기 준비를 할 때 굉장히
Myunchik gives me a lot of motivation as a coach. He always practices hard.
오히려 배워야 될 것 같은.
네.
네, 그리고 더 도와주고 싶은 그런 생각이
And I learn a lot from just watching him practice and train.
네, 선수들은 사파 선수들인데 답변은 굉장히 교과서적인 답변인데요. 자, 이렇게 훈훈한 이야기들이 오갔고 그렇다면 오늘 예상 스코어를 한번 들어보겠습니다. 앞서
Let's hear
김유진
their
선수가
predictions.
이상한 게임 하다가 아무나 이길 것 같다고 했거든요.
네.
스코어 어떻게 예상하세요?
저도
SOS says it's
두
50-50 game. What do you
선수가
think?
네.
워낙 어마어마한 그게 있어서
그렇죠.
감히 예상을 못하겠어요.
아, 그래. 이번엔 예상조차 안
Because both
돼요?
players play
아, 저희도 미국에 빠집니다. 그럼 박대경 코치님.
unorthodox games and the style's weird. I actually just don't know what the results will be.
4대 2로
What are your
왜냐면-
predictions?
김유진 선수가 토스전에
I think it's going to be a 4-2 win for
네.
Myunchik.
그렇게 큰 다른 플레이를 보여주지 않더라고요. 그래서 준비한 대로 플레이를 한다면 4대1
SOS has a very odd
네.
style,
타버니
especially against Terran and
두렵지 않다,
Zerg.
이런
But I
마음인가요?
don't see that much uniqueness from him in
김유진 선수가
PvP.
실전제에 좀 강하기 때문에
네.
걱정은 되긴 하지만 명식이가
SOS is a very good player and a best of
네.
7 for sure.
이기지 않을까
But
생각하고 있습니다.
Myunchik's also
김명식
very well
선수 이를
prepared for
악물고
tonight, so I'm
준비했다고
going to say
합니다.
4-2.
자, 그럼 오늘
with Myunchik
4강전
winning.
그 주인공을 가리기 전에 이 두 코치님의 든든한 응원을 받고 그럼 시작을 해보겠습니다. 우리 선수들 힘내라고 지원 사격 응원 부탁드립니다.
Any final
박태규
cheers for your
코치님?
players?
네.
Or words for your players, in other words?
요즘 날씨가 이렇게 쌀쌀해지고 오늘도 바람도 많이 불고 한데 이게 참 너한테는 딱 결승 가기 딱 좋은 날씨인
The
것
weather
같고
is windy out. You always play well in this season of the
하반기
year.
기운이 너를 돕고 있으니까 준비한 대로
And
너의
you always
길을
seem to do
가면
better in the second
결승으로
half of the year,
가는 길이 될
SOS.
것 같아요.
네,
I really
하반기에
hope you advance
너는
for the
너의
finals and
길을
get to go win
가면
BlizzCon
된다.
once
이렇게
again.
말씀해 주셨는데요. 자, 이제 박대현 코치님 들어보겠습니다.
제가 승자 예측은 4대2로 했지만 명식의 절실함을 보면은 4대0으로
I know how desperate Myunchik is to win tonight.
네.
자신감을 가지고
Even though I predicted a 4-2,
상대 전적이
I think it might even be a 4-0, just because Myunchik is hungry to win.
네, 그 마음이 선수에게도 다 전달이 됐으리라고 생각이 됩니다.
And even though you have a
자,
losing
그럼
record against your
오늘
opponent previously, I
4강 첫
hope you can
번째
bring it all here
경기
tonight.
모두가 기대가 되는
And I believe that's
경기인데요.
going to do it
경기
for
본격적으로
our
시작하겠습니다.
interview. Artosis, I'm a little bit confused with the discussion of the weather here from the junior coach.
When it's windy, he plays better, and at the end of the year, he plays better.
Yeah.
You know what happened is they sacrificed an ox, and the blood spoke, and the bones were thrown, and like at the end of the day, it just the omens tell us SOS has got this. Okay?
That's right. I mean, let's face it. It's been 3 full moons in a row, and that can only mean one thing: SOS will be a champion.
Dude, the thing is, when you can see the Big Dipper, who's a bigger dipper than SOS? All right, this guy, he is a 2-time world champion.
That's
His
right.
coach says he's going to win because of the wind. So, hey, you can't spell wind without win, right? So, I mean, here we are.
You are a poet.
Yeah.
Here's a closer look at our player, Myunchik. Now, this guy, if you guys haven't been following StarCraft 2 heavily, you may be a little bit less familiar with Myunchik than some of these other players we have here, but this guy's really scary. He's got a super aggressive, super cheesy, super deceptive style, and yes, more so than SOS. SOS is kind of your quintessential solid Protoss player, okay? He's this guy who knows how to macro, he knows how to cheese, he knows how to mix up his builds, and you know, he knows how to be tricky, but Myunchik is like a polarized version of that.
Yeah.
A polarized version of the sneaky and aggressive plays.
Very much. He is cheesier than SOS, I guess you would call it, and like more. I feel like he's more bludgeoning. SOS is more finesse in a way, but they both kind of like overlap in a lot of ways. Like I guess they're the most similar to each other out of all the Protosses, but they are not. They don't completely overlap for sure stylistically. Yeah, so I mean, this is exciting stuff, guys. This is so important for SOS to be able to win this match, and of course, Myunchik, this is a huge moment in his career.
He might not get this deep in an
winning this next round.
Like this, you know. So
yeah, if he wins this next round, he might make it to BlizzCon. Like we are getting super down to the wire on this, but SOS obviously looking for the GSL win overall to lock that in. Guys, get out there, help us spread the word that this is on. This is the round of 4 of GSL Codex, the best tournament in the world, the best game in the world, the best players in the world. Like, the best tasteless in the entire world. Okay? Like, this is important stuff. We want people in here watching this. And I tell you what, we have a good turnout today in the audience. A lot of foreigners here.
Yeah, a lot of non-Koreans.
I wish that we had a button when it goes over 50% foreigners versus Koreans in the studio. We get to hit the button and the Korean casters fall into a pit of alligators. And then English blares over the speakers.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I mean, we got a good amount of non-Koreans coming down here today. And I'm sure we're going to have a very good turnout here in the finals as well. Look, this is going to be a lot of fun. You got 2 Protoss players with very out-there styles. I think anything can happen. Remember, this is a best of 7, so they have time to try to adapt to each other's play styles. Now, SOS, I would say in a best of 7, maybe the very best player in the entire world.
Yeah, he prepares so well for stuff like this. The thing is, Myunchik is very strong in this regard as well. Like, he's good at preparing things for players. He's good at coming up with weird builds. And it's PvP, man, so, like, you can really... There's, like, a lot of, like, hard countering that can go on. I'm so excited to see what they go for and, like, how many proxies there are and just, you know... There's like so many fascinating aspects to this, and how tricky that they both are. Yeah, we'll talk more about that. Taste is starting.
All right, get ready. SOS versus Myunchik. Game number 1 on King Sejong Station. Let's do this. In the bottom right, in the blue, he is
Jin Air Green Wings, SOS.
And in the upper left, in the red, he is
SK Telecom T1, Myunchik.
Did I just hear a cancel?
I think you did. Yeah. Because we just had another...
Oh, okay. I guess actually there was a probe that rushed across the map.
Was there?
Yeah.
Where?
Like, see? That is pretty damn early to have a probe across the map. So it looks like, wait, red is Myunchik, right? Yeah, okay. So Myunchik ran across the map here to get inside the base. Okay. So, anyways, it's going to be kind of crazy. And these two have like so many mind games and they both know it. Like the way that they trick people and make you think one thing but do the other.
Yeah.
So the one thing that I'm really going to keep my eye on is to see if anyone does something that looks stupid. Like, for instance, like if you, let's say that Myungchik just started a DT shrine. SOS scouts it. He might let it finish and go all in with the DTs. Something like that, because
okay,
like
I want to talk about this
the
actually.
mind game of like the cancel or the not making DTs, like because these guys will take it, they step it up a level. Like sometimes they'll just do like a counter to it, like, okay, well, I see a dark shine, I'll just get observers. But then like SOS might be thinking something to the effect of, oh, Myungchik will cancel that. I'm not going to go observers. Instead, I'm going to go Oracle or something.
This is a unique feature of Protoss, is that because we all know that Protoss can do a lot of tricky stuff to throw the other player off. You know, I think it was even more of a factor a little bit in Brood War, but where you could like make something.
Brood War is a little bit trickier, I think.
And you would make something, and then if they see it and they leave, a lot of times you can cancel. But the super meta play was actually to just do it anyways, because it doesn't. It sounds weird, but it doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
You would assume that no matter what, they're not going to go for it if they know. But then you do it anyways, and the other player just assumes that because you know that therefore you wouldn't. It's this really kind of crazy mind game.
Yeah, and that type of play is absolutely something that we might see tonight. And oh my God, he already has a prism out.
Actually, that threw me off. I didn't know we were going to have that.
He warped in a hot 6 can.
Okay, that's good. That'll help him. Special thanks to our
unfortunately,
sponsors.
the Mothership Core is a good counter to that, and looks like his Adept takes more damage.
So he might lose both of these Adepts, or he's trying to shade away. I'm not sure how effective that's going to be.
Yeah.
It looks like we might have the Mothership Core dip in here and get a glimpse as to what Myungchik is trying to do. Now, I would say in between these two guys, the first like 6 minutes are probably the most important because of all the weird styles of builds they could do.
Well, they're both going Nexus right now, and SOS actually has a pretty early Robo, which is normally like a safety play. Like a lot of people do that. So you got to wonder, like, is he trying to play the safe Protoss here?
He needs to get out of here. Oh my God. That is bad.
That's a big deal. That's a really big deal. That's an expensive building. I mean, not a building, but it's an expensive unit. And, like, now he can't make an additional probe. That is not where he wants to be, especially against all these Adepts. Like, you need the Mothership Core to help stave off Adepts from killing all your probes.
That's right. Is he going to go for it? Yes, he will. And now going to go back here. He wants to try to fight the Stalker. The Stalker can kind of kite the Adepts.
Yeah, you definitely can out-micro them in some ways, but if they just shade away or whatever, like the Stalkers can't really catch them. By the way, it looks like right now SOS is going to be going for a Disruptor drop.
That's right.
I mean, obviously, that's a pretty strong build. We've seen it before. Not super common right now, though. Good warping.
Now, Myungchik might be losing too many Adepts here. It's not the end of the world, but it certainly doesn't help. Oh, nice block. Wow, last second deny there.
This is important stuff, too. Look at that. This Adept is just all over the place. But, like, denying the Scout is really important if they know a Disruptor drop is coming, but he's already making a Phoenix. So the Phoenix is quite a good counter to that. And the amount that SOS was trying to hide what he was doing, it makes sense that Myungchik has gone into Phoenix.
Yeah, it's almost suspicious in a completely different way if they're really gung-ho on trying to stop you from getting in there, like no matter what.
Yeah.
You think, well, wait a minute, you might be up to something. So I think Myungchik's actually in good shape this game. I think this tech is very complementary to, unbeknownst to him, the response to what SOS is doing.
No, totally. This is like super safe. Getting Observer plus Phoenixes, there's not a lot that's going to kill you, and you're going to like hard counter Oracle or this build.
Here we go!
Oh
my God, that could not have been better.
8 probes! 8 probes, 2 sentries, a Stalker?
That was value.
Are you kidding me?
That was value Walmart couldn't beat. That was like, he got every possible. He got like everything he needed.
I don't even... What the hell? Oh, he even got 2 Stalkers with that.
Yeah,
2 Stalkers, 2 sentries, 8 probes. So worth. Go ahead, kill the Disruptor. I want you to kill it. Oh my God.
I'm glad he got those other Phoenixes over there for a second. I thought he was worried that, SOS's units just had vertigo or something, but when he gets the rest of those over there, he can actually take that out. That was a seriously good play. By the way, that's like not the plan when you do that drop.
No.
The goal is to just get some workers. I mean, that was like, that could not have gone better.
No, it couldn't
As far as what he damaged there, or actually killed, I should say, not even damaged.
Now, to be fair, SOS's build overall, like the tech that he's invested into, like disruptors are super countered by Phoenixes. This is why we don't see disruptors really that much in PvP right now, is because if you have Phoenixes, you just pick them up and they don't do anything. And they cost more than Phoenixes, so haha, get out of here. So, like, still Myungshik can do something here. He's a little bit behind in economy, he's a little bit behind in units and all that, but you know, the Phoenixes are a good tech to have. He sees what's going on. It looks like Blink, and he starts Immortals, gets the Twilight. I think the Twilight will be for Glaives, and should be good to go.
So we have a Dark Shrine coming up here. Now, when he sees the Phoenixes come into his base, it is okay to send a Warp Prism across the map. He may hide that at the center left and then try to make DTs later on.
Yeah.
You know, there's this odd mini game in PvP where this is going to sound really weird too, but you want to have as little observers as humanly possible because you want your other units, but you have to have some observers. So
you do.
He might be able to get in there with these DTs and do a bunch of damage if the observers are not in a good position. But oh my!
Oh, he sees it.
Okay, yeah, he has to see that, right?
Yeah, so that is another dead Warp Prism, and that means that the DT's like not really gonna be coming in very quickly. So that's kind of rough. Just gonna, I guess, sacrifice that, keep those out of there.
I mean, there's nothing else you can do from that point, right?
But yeah, like looking at this right now, I imagine that we're going to see SOS just go into Glaives immediately after this blank.
I think you're right.
He has like an okay amount of Stalkers, but generally, like Adept Immortal is going to be a pretty good counter to Blink.
Yeah, for sure. We do see that Myungshik is at least playing with the idea of taking a Nexus over here, starting his third base. And we may see SOS try to exploit that. Wow, this is another Warp Prism.
Oh my God.
This is the third Warp Prism we've seen now.
You know, I'm okay with him trying this, just because, like, in the current way that PvP is being played, he doesn't really need Immortals that much. Like, it's more about the Adepts than anything else, really. So, like, it's kind of reminding me when you just see Maru rally Banshees across the map. Yeah. It's like, well, I mean, eventually one of these is going to do something, right?
And you only need one to do it.
You definitely don't expect the third Warp Prism, right?
No.
You're not looking like the third Warp Prism timing.
That's the weird mind game that's actually happening here, is because this is super risky, because he has a direct counter to it. Oh, this is going to get weirder, Tosis. They are like two ships passing each other in the night. Yeah. Okay, I think suddenly SOS goes, wait a minute.
Oh, man, this is going to be a little bit shady, Tasteless.
Okay, DTs are in there now. But this army can't quite get back to defend, like not in a very safe position at least.
Picks off one of those Phoenixes. This army of Myungshik, it's pretty far across the map right now.
So he's just going to keep trying to run. Oh, isn't that funny? The Archon can't get in there. He's just going to keep trying to run from that. Now, SOS has to take out this attack.
Yeah, he's actually being a little bit slow about that. Okay, he does have his Shades over here. He's trying to come in for the flank. We saw Myungshik actually fighting on top of an overcharge, which is not necessarily that good.
There is one observer over here, so he can't just hard counter this attack with DTs.
Okay,
and
moving
there we go.
Once again, and okay, no overcharge this time. Not sure he even has the energy for that, but eventually he's going to have to bring up his army and flank this.
I think he's actually taking almost too much time here with that army. He's letting Myungshik fight two fights he might actually win. Okay, he's going to come in from here. Now, he's going to have, like, this premium surface area around this. I mean, this army, by the way, cannot get back home. And it would have to kill off everything. And I think the angling alone is going to give favoritism over here to Myungshik. But let's see, there is still an Immortal in the back doing a lot of damage.
He actually has picked up the Observer as well, and his DT's warped in. He is slaughtering this army now. Wow, even going to get the Prism? Oh, my God.
Oh, my God, and he's unpowered. The main there, the 4 gates, I believe it's 4, inside the main. I mean, SOS kind of just held everything. And here's the thing, SOS even has a third base, guys. They haven't really had time to remark on that.
Yeah.
So, like, SOS, I think this game should be over. I think the counterattack will be enough.
I think you're right about that. Like, just the fact that he has, like, this gateway-based army, he can just, like, go over and attack with a bunch of Adepts right now because he does have an army advantage. This is something that we're seeing a lot in PvP right now. The guy who attacks and kills a bunch of economy, when they lose their whole army, they're in trouble.
Yeah, that was just a brilliant play there by SOS. And it was fairly neck and neck a minute or two ago, but he's just done everything correctly. This is essentially checkmate here, guys. You can see Myungshik's trying, but I think even he, in the back of his head, is kind of aware that this is a lost cause here.
He's got like a few more probes, but like he has actually more probes than can efficiently mine here. He's just kind of turtling up, doing any harassment he can. But SOS, he has massive army supply lead. He does have that third base. He doesn't need to go up and end it right this second.
This is, yeah, well, you are 100% right about that, Artos. He doesn't have to do anything. This is actually Myunchik's problem, not SOS's.
Yeah, look at this. The DT's coming in even, doing some more harassment.
He's just going to keep poking him. In fact, in a best of 7, I would actually just play super passive for SOS here because this is a morale blow, right? This is a huge morale blow here to Myunchik that I mean, he knows this is such an important match. He might as well try to stay in the game.
Yeah.
I think the odds of winning are almost 0 at this point in time, but just keep Myunchik back, keep him in this horrible mental state so that game 2, SOS is just, you know.
Yeah.
He's just floating.
Oh, man, they actually don't find that prism. That speed prism doing some real work. The third prism taste us. Always go up to 3, all right?
That's right.
This one's getting the real value in.
It's interesting as well, that third prism play, because it would only work if you had people of this caliber.
Yeah.
Where, like, it just doesn't even make sense to do that.
I'd just be patrolling those Phoenixes all day, and that wouldn't have done anything.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. We have some adepts coming down here now, but I think he honestly needs almost every adept back here at home. Still no third base, but this is a little victory here from Myunchik. He's actually driving the probes away. That's something, right?
Yeah, it is definitely something. I mean, he's still hurting the economy of SOS. SOS has lost countless probes this game.
Yeah, SOS actually has less probes than Myunchik does. But
over and over, too. It's like this is a common thing that we're seeing in this game. But the thing is, Myunchik is kind of trapped. Now, I like what Myunchik is doing going into the Archons. They do a good amount of damage to Adepts, especially if you have a Prism to make it so that they kind of have Blink.
Yeah, you can juggle them.
Yeah, you can juggle them quite a bit, and they tank a hell of a lot of damage. So I really do like that move. He's still got a chance in this game. You know, definitely you still have to look at the army of SOS and say it's better, but that's pretty darn good right there. He's got some stuff to work with.
Looks like he wants to move out now. I don't know. This is such a impossible position for Myunchik here. You see, SOS just fights like in a favorable area. He's like, okay, are you going to try to come at me? All right, I'm going to move up here. And meanwhile, I mean, the sand is running out of the hourglass here for Myunchik. Myunchik needs to get a third base. I mean, he is eventually going to mine all this out.
Yeah, he certainly is going to do that.
These are, they're taking a little peek in here at each other's armies and trying to survey, okay, how much does he have? Because it's really easy to make that mistake where you're like, oh, I think I have more than him, and then you don't see like a bunch of Immortals in the back or a bunch of Archons on the right.
Yeah.
So they're trying to just get as much intel as possible. And SOS is being smart in another aspect as well. He's even going past that and checking the third base.
Oh, man, look at this move by SOS as well. Moving out with these Blink Stalkers, just kind of pushing back everything. Dark Shrine coming up from Myunchik. Don't forget, this guy is almost not mining at this point. Like, he is really in a lot of trouble economically.
So War Prism does come out. Looks like he will probably not lose that. It should be safe with the Stalkers overhead. Now, is he going to try to engage here? Oh, just getting these Archons is pretty huge. I mean, the Adepts are not in the right spot. Good pickup there with the War Prism.
Yeah, this is some really good play. I love the fact that he's taking off Archon shields, trying to pick off Archons as well. You know, those are really kind of the linchpin of Myunchik's army. Oh, those Adepts got wrecked.
Yeah, it looks like Myunchik is now going to try to just go around. Now, this might be the best possible play for Myunchik. SOS is still the favorite right now. And I think SOS is identifying correctly. He says, okay, we're going to do a base trade. I certainly have more base.